Well, we're days away from a food stamp crisis, and millions of Americans are gonna feel the pain. But who's to blame? Well, look at this. It says the USDA blames Democrats for potential SNAP benefits lapse in new message and says the well has run dry. We are now starting to get some very interesting reports where some Americans are coming out and saying that they are just going to steal the food. They aren't going to pay for it. They're going to go to stores, steal the food so that they can actually feed their family. And I get it. That's a tough situation to be in. But I want to play you some clips. Look at this one right here, because this is something that a lot of people are extremely concerned about, and they are overspending at this time. Listen to this.
Y'all, I just read my email from DHS last night. And that just said even if you have food stamps left on your card November the 1st, they system's not gonna be accepting it at the store. So you need to go on and get shelf able food now that can last you from November and beyond. Hey, just a word being put out. Hey, yeah. That's some crazy work, G.
Here's the problem with what she just said. First off, there was a letter put out by the USDA that said that you should go get some shelf-stable food. And the reason for this is because it wouldn't make sense to go out there and buy a lot of fruits and vegetables that are going to have a very short shelf life. What the USDA said is to go and get food that can actually sit on your shelf for potentially weeks or maybe even months, because that's how long they expect these delays to last. Even if the federal government decides to open up today, which is October 26th, many people are receiving benefits in the next several days for the month of November. Here's the problem. These delays would, these food benefits would see a delay of likely 2 to 3 weeks, because the money still has to be, we still have to get the money, then it has to be appropriated to the right things, and then it has to be sent to the states. So that's the issue. But what she's saying is go out there and spend all the money that you have on your card, because stores are not going to be accepting it. That's not true. According to many reports, stores are still going to be accepting the food stamps. Here's the problem though. Some stores, and these are likely going to be the smaller ones, so your Walmarts, your Targets, your Safeways, your Krogers, they're still going to accept food stamps. The smaller stores are likely going to reject that purchase. The reason for that is because they don't know when they are going to receive the money from the states. That's the big question. They have no clue when states are going to pay them. That's what we're hearing at this time. I want to play another clip for you though. Look at this one right here.
People are saying they're willing to steal food because their SNAP benefits might not be deposited in November. But here's the dangerous ripple effect when more food is stolen. One of the first responses is more government control and less freedom for everyone. So here's what we know. When hunger hits hard, theft of groceries rises. Some folks feel they have no choice when there's no food aid coming. And then stores respond. Higher losses, major security investments, stricter store policies. For example, self-checkout lanes get re-regulated, large bags are banned, and oversight increases.
I do want to point out one thing. Now, you're seeing clips. These are AI generated clips, okay? This isn't people out there going and throwing food in their carts, and it's not an all-out, there's crisis in the grocery stores yet. But some say it could be. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because what the person's saying is true. When you see people can't afford food, and food prices have even gone up. So when people can't afford food, they turn towards theft. They're going to steal it. Some people will try to grow their own food, but who has time to go and grow food right now when it's starting to turn into the colder months? Nobody. And what if they need food in the next 3 days? Are they going to be able to grow some cucumbers and tomatoes and fruits and vegetables? No, Nobody has that kind of time. And so right now, there's a lot of speculation, and even grocery stores are actually turning up the heat, if you will. They're now putting police officers or more security throughout the store, many of which are sitting right at the entrances. Think about Walmart, for instance. Walmart is now, and I've been talking to a few people from Walmart, and they're saying this exact same thing, is they are extremely concerned, not just for the food items, but for the holiday items as well, because they're all out there. People aren't just going to go and steal peanut butter and bread and then run out the door. No, if they're going to steal something, there's a good chance, based off what we're hearing, that they're going to steal the food items. Maybe they'll go back and get some smaller electronics and some toys and things like that to try to bring down their costs from their own household. That's the concern. I want to play another clip for you as well. Listen to this one.
Oh, snap! What happens November 1st when them SNAP benefits run out if they're not replenished, huh? I'm sure many of you have been watching what I've seen. Many people on these apps that are currently on government assistance and who receive SNAP benefits saying that they're going to take matters into their own hands, right? They're going to loot and steal. They're going to take whatever they need to feed their families, which I totally get.
One thing I do want to point out, I'm already seeing on Facebook Marketplace and on Craigslist in their barter section, you're already starting to see people that are willing to barter. That if you have food or you have some way of getting them X amount of dollars in food, they have a TV they're willing to give you. They have an old cell phone. They have tires for cars. This is what's happening. And this is when you know things get really bad.
I understand that you need to survive. However, a lot of these large supermarket chains and these local grocery stores, right? Once you go in there and loot, like they did 5 or 6 years ago, right? And take whatever you need as far as food, a lot of other non-essential items are going to be taken too. Let's just call it what it is. Okay, that's going to happen. So you're going to go in, you're going to loot all these grocery stores in your area, these large supermarkets, and you're going to take enough food or non-essentials, whatever, for a couple of weeks, to last you 2 or 3 weeks. What's going to happen then? You think these supermarkets and large and grocery chains in your area are going to replenish their inventory? Most likely not, because you're going to probably think the same thing will happen, right? So then you're going to run out of food and run out of essentials. Then what's going to happen?
Yeah, that's the problem. Then the stores aren't going to replenish their items. And Walmart's already doing this, they're already putting glass cases over everything. Now, here's the thing. I don't go into grocery stores anymore. I don't know the last time I went to a Walmart, but I don't go into these stores anymore because it is more work to go in. It's like, oh, I'm going to get this Tide detergent. Well, I got to go and find a store representative to come over here, unlock it so I can actually get the item. And then they come over, get it, put it right in your cart. It's like, well, how does that kind of defeats the purpose? So now there's just face-to-face contact. If somebody wanted to steal the Tide, get somebody to unlock the case, they give you the Tide, and then you can just walk out the door. But that's where things are at. And so some stores, and we've seen this over the past several years, look at Rite Aid, look at Walgreens, for instance, CVS. They are closing down stores because of theft. This has happened over the last several years. What's going to happen now? That's the big concern. But I want to read you something, okay? And I'm not going to read this entire thing because the person that wrote this to me, on the subject line, it says, "For your eyes only." Now, I did get the okay to read certain parts of this. I'm going to read it. This person is, they sit in a lot of the meetings that some lawmakers have, okay? Just to give you an idea. This person says, "I know we've discussed the possibility of this in the past, but it's more real now than ever before. SNAP benefits are not going out in most states, and beneficiaries will be impacted in a big way. But lately, I've been in several meetings where the discussions is on the states that are able to afford to keep benefits going. SNAP benefits won't go out, but states can put on their own food assistance programs. But the funds used for those programs will not be reimbursed by the federal government. In recent meetings, several lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are asking the question if states could really afford to take on more of this responsibility. And if they can now, then why couldn't they do this when the government is open? So essentially, there's a lot of lawmakers that are looking for ways to ensure that food benefits still go out. But at the same time, they see that this crisis could be an opportunity to pass on more of the responsibility, the fiscal responsibility, as well as the administrative side, to the states, to take this away from the federal government. That would be huge, because guess what? President Trump, Elon Musk was even bringing this up, that maybe the states are the ones that are going to go and run this, not the federal government, because that would actually reduce the expense from the federal government side. And some are saying this was the plan all along, to try to reduce the expenses from the federal government. Think about this for a second. Is this a possibility? If the federal government doesn't reopen in the next couple of days, we are going to see more than 40 million households not receive food stamps for the month of November. That is going to be devastating. We're already seeing food banks are running dry. Grocery stores are seeing some of their cheaper items, they're getting sold out. Right? They can't keep them on the shelves long enough, because that's what people want. The concern, though, and the big question is this the thing that we were going towards? Is the federal government trying to move away from food stamps, and now are they only going to supply the funding to specific states? I don't know where we go from here. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because what happens next could be a massive move. We're going to see 40 million people not receive SNAP benefits in the next several days. That's going to be a major impact. But where do we go after that? Based off what this person is saying, and there's several discussions on this, was this the plan all along, is to push the responsibility over to the states and not the federal government? Well, we're going to find out soon enough, because again, we're less than a week away from November 1st. As soon as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get them. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.